And now the news. Head of Tax at Stikeman Elliott London LLP and counsel to the International Financial Centers Forum, Richard Hay, has defended offshore financial services centers in an article that gives a balanced view of the sector. In his article, The Case for Offshore, Richard Hay says a shutdown of financial centers could result in loss of jobs and investment in Britain, as well as lower pension returns, a slowdown in international commerce and investment, and business would shift to other jurisdictions. He further defends the financial centers, saying UK offshore centers support British jobs and that a 2013 survey conducted by Capital Economics, the respected UK economic consultancy, shows that Jersey supports over 140,000 British jobs, 6 times as many as the entire UK steel industry. Now, media coverage has heightened since the publishing of the so-called Panama Papers, orchestrated by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. But it is believed in some circles that the CIA could be involved in the massive financial document leak.
Brad Birkenfeld served more than 2 years in an American prison for his role in the conspiracy behind Swiss bank accounts. He also was paid $104 million by the IRS in gratitude for the information that he brought to the U.S. government about secret Swiss bank accounts. So as the greatest financial whistleblower of all time, you might think that Brad Birkenfeld is cheering on these Panama Papers disclosures. Well, not necessarily. Here's what he told me from Munich, Germany this morning about who he thinks the real source of all these documents actually was. Take a listen.
Maybe there were more other foreign nationals there than Americans, but the very fact that we see all these names surface that are the direct, quote-unquote, enemies of the United States, Russia, China, Pakistan, Argentina, and we don't see one U.S. name, why is that? So, quite frankly, my feeling is that this is certainly an intelligence agency operation. The CIA, I'm sure, is behind this, in my opinion.
Now, Birkenfeld, of course, has no proof of that allegation, and I asked him why U.S. intelligence would have any incentive at all to leak information that's been damaging politically to David Cameron, the Prime Minister of the UK, and a major U.S. ally. Birkenfeld told me that he thinks that Cameron was simply collateral damage in all this, and he said that he thinks that the disclosures so far have been selective. Here's what he said.
Quite frankly, if you've got NSA and CIA spying on foreign governments, they can certainly get into a law firm like this, but they selectively bring the information to the public domain that doesn't hurt the U.S. in any shape or form. That's wrong. And there's something seriously sinister here behind this.
Guys, so fascinating now to hear Brad Birkenfeld, who is, as we said, the greatest financial whistleblower of all time, now calling into question the source of this massive new financial document leak.
According to BBC, Panama-based Mossack Fonseca says the firm was a victim of a hack, that it was not an inside job, and that the company had been hacked by servers based abroad. Meanwhile, the government of the Virgin Islands has signed its 28th Tax Information Exchange Agreement, or a TIEA, and this time with the government of the Isle of Man, as it reinforces its commitment to comply with the international standards and the fight against tax evasion. The BVI has signed tax information exchange agreements with the USA, UK, France, China, and 24 other countries. The TIEA provides a mechanism for the exchange of information for tax purposes in accordance with the current internationally agreed standards.